Hey everybody, if you're in a restaurant or hotel business, you know how crucial it is to manage costs without sacrificing quality. That's where FoodBuy, the largest GPO in the industry, comes in. With FoodBuy, you gain access to exclusive pricing, unmatched buying power, and a vast network of trusted suppliers, all designed to help you save time and money. Whether you're running a high-end hotel or a bustling restaurant, FoodBuy is your one-stop partner to streamline purchasing and get the best deals. Want to see how they're changing the game? Visit foodbuy.com today and take your supply chain to the next level. That's foodbuy.com, making smarter purchasing easier than ever. Live from Toast Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout Podcast. Toast, built for restaurants, built for you.
We're very excited for today's episode. Joining us is our friend, Mr. Kevin Bazner, Chairman and CEO of A&W Restaurants.
It's not Bazner?
This is going to be, it's not Bazner, it's Bazner.
It's Bazner.
And this is going to be, because we check those things, data guy.
Yeah, no, we do.
But listen, we appreciate our patience of our guest. But before we let him in, we have to play Trivia Tuesdays.
Oh,
we release our podcast on Tuesday, so not ever to be confused with Taco Tuesday. We're going to play our own game. I'm going to give you 3 factoids about our friend Kevin. 2 are true, and 1 is less than true, also known as a lie. And at the end of the show, Shatsy's going to guess which were the 2 truths, which was a lie.
I think I crushed it last week, didn't I?
You did crush it last week, but you were wrong.
Oh.
You crushed it and wrong, and I was right.
Oh, I was wrong?
Yes, you weren't paying attention to the details. There are words matter, Shatsy.
No.
Words matter.
All right, you tricked me. I
didn't trick you. I just paid attention to the words.
Trickery.
All right, here come the 3 facts. Okay, 3 factoids. Fact 1. Our friend Kevin visited 57 countries and has flown around the world 35 times. 57 countries, flown around the world 35 times.
Flown around the world. Like started in like New York and went around the world and landed back in New York 35 times.
And I'll let you reflect on that as I read fact 2. Kevin reads 70 books a year. 70, Shatsy. By the way, your number could, if this is true, your number is close to Kevin's. You just leave
I
out
read
the
magazines.
7.
Are magazines included?
7, and the 0 of his is your number.
I read the New York Post every day. That's got to count for something.
Yeah, it counts for nothing. Sorry, New York Post. Fact 3. Kevin is a professional singer and has auditioned for American Idol.
I've watched American Idol a lot.
Yes.
Right? But he auditioned. It didn't say he was on.
There's the audition for American Idol. By the way, American Idol's produced a lot more celebrity stars than The Voice.
All
Sorry,
right.
Voice. You're not keeping up. That's why it's American Idol. All right, fact 1, Kevin visited 57 countries, flown around the world 35 times. Fact 2, 70 books a year. Fact 3, professional singer has auditioned for American Idol. Stick around to the end of the episode. Shatsy will guess. Kevin will tell us the truth, and we'll have some fun with that. All right, Shatsy.
All right, let's go. Before we bring in Kevin.
Before we bring in Kevin,
we now know a couple of truths and a lie. But we have to learn, how did Kevin become? How do you become the chairman and CEO?
The chairman of the board
of A&W Restaurants. How does that happen, Jimmy? It's not easy.
I think I know how it happens. All the great CEOs start in one place. Go ahead, Shatsy.
I like to lay out the roadmap. So our listeners out there, if they want to take Kevin's job, they know exactly what to do.
Here it comes.
Okay, so first, you got to start washing dishes.
You got to wash dishes.
14 years old. You got to start washing dishes. Probably not even getting paid. You know what I mean? Probably not even getting paid.
Statute of limitations is expired.
Yep. You go to college. Not 1, but 2. You get an MBA. If you want to be, A&W's not hiring anyone, Jimmy, if you don't have an MBA.
You want the cheese? You got to get 2 degrees.
100%. Okay. And you start as an A&W lifer. So if you're not working at A&W right now, there's no chance you can be the chairman. Okay, you got to start. Your first job has to be at A&W. Chairman must be lifelong. Okay, and then I'm looking here. I don't know, there's something about Avantana Ventures. I don't know what that means, but there's something there. He was at Smoothie King. He was the CEO of Smoothie King. That's a big one. So I guess he wasn't a lifer at A&W.
He took a break.
My notes are a little messed up here. I got to be honest. It says he was a lifer at A&W, but at some point he went to Smoothie King. I don't know we'll get that. And he went back to A&W in 2001. So he took a break. I think, it's enough with the root beer. Sometimes you want a little smoothie, you know what I mean? Well, listen, without further ado, I think it's time that we bring in the chairman of the board, Mr. Kevin Bazner. Here he is, CEO and chairman of A&W Restaurants. Kevin, great to have you on the show. What did I get right? Did I get anything right? Your name is Kevin Bazner.
Great to be here, guys. I appreciate it. And I don't know about the rest of your audience, but I've just been entertained for the last 10 minutes. And I appreciate that because every day needs a little laughter. You do. I got to
tell
we're
you.
selling root beer here. We're selling food for money. We like to keep things light within the brand. But you got a lot of things right. My lifer with A&W is a full circle. I left the business during ownership changes, went off and did some other stuff. Came back as president and CEO when we acquired the business from the previous owners back in 2011. I've recently, with the retirement of our long-term chairman, took on the chairman's title as well. So that's been, the last.
Did they increase your pay when you get that extra title?
No.
Really? So they just gave you a title with no extra pay.
It was the way we were working it. This has been an intentional transition plan with people's retirements and that. I was doing the job.
You got to have Jimmy to be your agent.
Somebody's got to be because I didn't negotiate more money.
100%. You can't be the CEO and the chairman. You got to give you more money for that, Jimmy. Please.
Titles are cheap.
But titles are cheap, but I get a free lifetime supply of A&W root beer. That's worth something.
You're like Kramer from Seinfeld. You like lifetime coffee. I'll take it. Yeah. All right. So it's like, don't pay me anymore. Just give me A&W. Anyway, I apologize. I digress.
No worries.
I want to kick off, Shatsy, or I should say, Kevin. It is not lost on us how many executives, how many CEOs of tremendous restaurant companies, and we certainly put your company in that group, where the people started their careers as dishwashers.
Yeah.
And I really find that to be unique and special about our industry and the democratization of it, of how people start as the dishwasher. And by the way, anyone who owns a restaurant knows that position is critical.
It's the backbone, baby.
And that was actually one of the most original, one of the OGs of innovation was the dishwasher. But anyway, it's amazing. But can you take yourself back, 14-year-old Kevin, washing dishes? How did that experience shape your view of this industry? And did you ever see a career path for yourself when you as a young man and you were in the weeds, washing the dishes? Did you ever see a career path in food service for yourself?
It's only 15 years ago, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, it's only 15 years ago. I wish. Thank you. Yes and no. Yes and no. I was washing dishes, as many people do, started the career, whether it's us, whether it's where I worked. It wasn't A&W. That's the other thing you got wrong, Chesky. I did not start at A&W. It was a coffee shop, restaurant, pancake house, whatever.
When you say I come from a
true middle class auto worker family. And allowances was a foreign word, and if you wanted pocket money, you went and worked. And so those entry-level positions, before that, it was delivering newspapers and that kind of stuff. So you went out and earned it. I liked it because I like to be busy and I like to interact with people. Now, from behind the dishwashers, not the premier spot. I like this role better, the top of the chain instead of the bottom.
So chairman, what you're saying is chairman of the company is better than being the dishwasher. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
The word,
I like
yes.
the pause. He's going to consider this.
I need to be like, what?
Yes.
Captain Obvious, but yes, we got that. But yeah, and then I just kept working in the industry, and I got to like it more and more, and was presented opportunities to do more. A lot of it, doing new things, traveling to new places, living in new places. And I really kind of liked it, and I made my career out of it. So some of it is happenstance, but I can tell you that 14-year-old Kevin and washing dishes, what it does give you in the role that I'm in today as the chairman of the company, is a deep appreciation for what our franchise partners do and what their managers and what their crew do every single day. It's complicated. I like to oversimplify things, and like, we're selling food for money, right? There's an awful lot of things. I forget which one of you. Shatsy, you're the restaurant guy, right? You're the food. There's a lot that goes into that, right?
A lot.
And you want to bring a full-service restaurant to its knees, break the dishwasher.
everything
You
stops.
said it. You clog up all the plumbing, right? So
Everything stops.
from the drains up to the where it starts, I think it just gives you an appreciation, and I think that's why whether it's a dishwasher, but whether it's an entry level position, I think that's what prepares a lot of good leaders for is that empathy and that understanding of what it really takes to make happen what we're strategizing and we're planning and we're investing in making happen. So
Yeah, I love it. I got to tell you, you're 100% right. And I just want to talk a little bit about A&W. And literally, it's older than sliced bread. 1919, A&W Restaurants was founded. Sliced bread, Jimmy, do you know what year?
I could take a guess.
Take a guess.
1928.
Oh, you cheated. You looked at the notes.
Oh, I
you know,
read
Jimmy,
them.
I'm trying to play. You know, I'm trying to have some fun here.
Okay, but ask me again.
Jimmy, know what year sliced bread was founded?
I could take a guess.
What guess?
1954.
No, 1928.
Okay.
Jimmy. Totally wrong. Not even close. In 1919, A&W Restaurants, and in 1928, Jimmy. Yeah, no, not 1954, Jimmy.
It was the 50s.
No, you're crazy.
Thought they
Anyway,
weren't making sandwiches in the
listen,
50s.
it's a brand that has been around a long time. I'm not going to say it's an old brand. I'm going to say it's been around a long time. You know, and I'll tell you, Kevin, how do you take a brand that's over 100 years old and keep it fresh with the Generation Zs, the millennials? How do you keep it fresh? How do you keep them going back? And how do you, because, Jimmy and I know A&W, but when, you talk to the young people, I mean, how do you get them to keep it going?
Yeah, I mean, great question. I mean, that's
Julie came up with that, by the way.
That's the ongoing questions that all brands have to ask themselves all the time, whether it's about the current upcoming generation Gen Z, before that millennials, big enough that you could bifurcate that into two millennial groups, and then boomers, which is my generation, et cetera. So Gen Z just happens to be, today's target customer, right?
Yep.
That we're going after. And so everyone's fascinated by it, and rightfully so. We all want to sell them products and want to services, et cetera. But how do we do it? There is a demand for uniqueness, there's a demand for flavor, there's a demand for authenticity. There's a desire to experiment, a willingness to try new things, customizable, big on beverages. You guys see it, you cover the industry, you see all the beverage companies out of there. Who heard of dirty sodas until recently, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And of course, it's that generation. So we're doing a lot of things along those in terms of, our value proposition has always been rooted in quality, certainly in the last 13 years, but really longer than that for the brand. And so quality products that we can target to that consumer's taste. So things that are a little bit more out there, tamarind in something, different spices, different sauces and whatever. So we're experimenting with, and we're coming up with
Sauces
some
are hot
really
with the young
exciting
generation,
stuff.
right, Kevin? Everyone, the young kids are loving hot sauces. They're loving sauces.
Yeah, and it's got to be Instagrammable, right?
Yep.
It's got to be Instagrammable because that's part of why they're paying $5 for a drink at 3:00 in the afternoon, right? And
They got to show their friends how cool they are.
You got to just show how cool the product is
Yeah.
that I'm consuming is. So we started to play in that space more and more aggressively. It's a big part of our brand strategy work that we're doing right now. We're updating every a number of years, several years. We are updating a brand strategy, and we're just really putting the final touches on that now for Gen Z. I can tell you, since we acquired the business, it's been all about millennials until recently. They're more technology savvy. So you got to get them to where they're at. You got to give them the product that's interesting to them, and it's more than about the product and the price they pay for it. But is it unique? Is it interesting? And is it something that they can share with the friends that, like, look what I did, look what I'm doing, right? And so that's, and then bringing the old to new, which is appreciated. That's that authenticity. We don't have to invent
Nostalgia.
history. We don't have to invent nostalgia. We just have to. Up until now, our first brand strategy work that we did when we acquired the business, we were hip nostalgia. We think that's where now the new nostalgia comes in. We don't want to be hip. We're just new. We want to bring our own history forward, put a unique twist on it, right? And I'll give you one. Have either one of you heard of swamp water?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what is it? Do you know what swamp water is?
Well, I mean, I can only tell you in the restaurant space, when we first started, we had a roadhouse and we had swamp water. It was a drink that it was like just a mixture of juices and booze, and it was just like green. And you said it was swamp water. It was like from Florida or Georgia or something. And Duke's used to have swamp water, you know. And it was, and I think Brother Jimmy's had swamp water, you know.
And that was a while ago. You guys, you know, you're younger than I am, but you're not spring chickens.
No,
you remember swamp. You
Jimmy
remember
is
swamp
not.
water. In A&W, that was a mixture of an orange drink that we had at the time and root beer. That was swamp water, and we floated a couple of dill pickles on top of it, 3 to be exact, which represented the lily pad.
Nice.
And then you put a little bit of pickle juice in it, and you know what? That's the kind of stuff the millennials are looking for today.
And it
so
tastes
not only we were the original craft beverage,
Yeah.
right? But we were ahead of our time in terms of doing different, unique things to it to just create chatter and create excitement with the consumers. This is what's old is new. That's the new style.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
I love you said,
great.
you said a couple of times authentic, and I think that's so important that A&W has such a history and such a successful history. And again, you have an amazing product, but you also very quickly recognize the need for technology and these Instagrammable moments. It's the most important social media platform for restaurants because Gen Z really is looking for that. You know, that dovetails. You know, as you said, we're not spring chickens. We're of the
I
generation.
think what he said, you weren't a spring
Sorry,
chicken.
I'm of the generation where I experienced the classic drive-in, and what you know, as you said, what's old is new again. And in the case of A&W drive-in, I believe 20% of your stores currently still offer the classic drive-in service. And you know, is there a game plan to capture, you know, the remaining 80%? How do you bring that drive-in nostalgia experience to stores that obviously don't have it, but there is that nostalgia. People know what it is, what it was. So how do you connect that? Because it's doing really well for 20% who have it. And how do you kind of bring that nostalgia or that element of Instagrammable moments to the 80% of stores that don't?
I mean, great question. If you'd have been having this conversation with me 12 years ago after we acquired the brand and we were putting our brand strategy together, we'd have paid you some money for that insight in that question.
How much would you pay, Kevin?
Well, it's too
What
long.
would you pay?
12 years later, it's free.
I'd have to be, not much, but
Not
we
much.
would have paid you for it.
Because Jimmy's always wanted to know what he's worth. Not much. Not
Well,
much.
I don't want to get carried away here.
A lot.
Okay.
Today, not so
But it's a question, you know, that we asked ourselves then, and we still ask ourselves then. I think we've sharpened our answer to that in that it's not practical today for a lot of reasons that we can talk about at another time, relative to the viability, the economic viability of the drive-in, particularly since so much self-ordering, so much delivery, so much. The business has changed so much.
Of course.
Well, we don't want to. We're not developing new drive-ins. We're certainly supporting those those that exist with the same technology. But what we're trying to do is through technology, right? What did you do in a drive-in restaurant? You ordered your own food from a speaker box in the hall, right? So now it's my smartphone on a QR code. I'm self-ordering again, right? Somebody on the other side, it happens to be going directly through technology, directly into the kitchen, onto the screen. There's no server needed. But then bringing the food out, right? Like you did, the car tray on the side of the window, right? Now we're bringing it out to the dining room. So bringing elements in as that customizable service, right? Of that unique service that you're self-ordering. We're not bringing it to your car. Now we might be. Now, 60% of the business, ours is a little bit lower because we have a higher dine-in incident because of our mug, right? 50% of our business is through the drive-through, right, or through delivery. So you're delivering the food. If the food isn't ready, and it usually isn't when you place your order at the drive-through window, we're pulling you ahead and bringing your food out. Just like in the car hop, right? The food isn't ready for you to go. You order, we make it, we bring it out. We're just using technology to be in the middle of that, and then that helps us in very different platforms. And that's the other thing with the you see it with all the beverage guys, but certainly that generation and really the generation before then, and even my generation through COVID. I mean, the use of technology accelerated multifold through the pandemic. There's no question
Without a doubt, sure.
Those of us non-users became much bigger users very, very quickly because we had to. And so we're taking advantage of that in the real, and the Gen Z expects it, right? Hypers is 67%, I think is the last number. They really prefer not to talk to a person when they place the order. It's not because they don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to get it right. They want to do it themselves, and they want to make it customizable.
I know my kids don't want to talk to anybody, Kevin, so I'm going to have to just tell you. They don't want to speak to anybody.
They don't want to talk to anybody.
They don't want to speak to me.
I was trying to be nice about it. My kids are adults now, and they're going to have to deal with their own kids and their own families. But I get it, and so it's like, okay, so that's what they want anyway. Give it to them.
Sure.
And then provide the hospitality that you're losing in that interchange, right? That's what guys like me are worried about. And replace it with something else. We call it a dining room attendant. Instead of a cashier, how about a hospitality attendant?
Right.
In the dining room. So
Sure.
that's what we're doing.
Yes.
Bring that
Yeah, it seems to be working well after over 100 years. You guys are still out there strong. Let's talk beverage strategy, because A&W resonates with beverage. I mean, people, when you hear A&W, you immediately think root beer, you think beverages. I mean, I don't know. I don't think people realize that. I mean, you're the original craft root beer. You're made in store, fresh, right? I mean, I don't think people realize that. A big trend right now is snacking. People are like, I'd rather than have 3 meals a day, I want to have 5, 6. Jimmy's up there in, 9, 10
Well, I
snacks?
want my 3 meals plus 5 snacks.
Plus 5 snacks. He goes
3
to
meals,
Baker's,
5
does it.
snacks.
Yeah. But so how are you leveraging the whole, the snacking and your craft beverages to compete now with this afternoon rush? From what I understand, that there's some creative cold brew combinations at A&W, because I know cold brew is hot and people love that. So what's going on at A&W to help with this afternoon rush and that day part that's generally a little slow?
Yeah, interesting. But cold brew is not hot.
Cold brew is not hot.
It's
That
cold.
was Jimmy.
It's cold.
Jimmy, in my ear, Jimmy's like, Jackie, cold brew is really hot. Jimmy, can you do me a favor? Don't interrupt.
It's amazing. I got that message to you without even moving my lips.
Yeah, cold brew is what I meant to say. Is cold brew is not hot. What is hot is snacking. Snacking.
No, but they're both hot. They're big, significant trends in the industry. You see
Jimmy,
it all
thank you
on-
for telling me cold brew's hot.
The short answer is we're doing a lot in this space. We're doing a lot in this space, whether it be dirty sodas, whether it be energy drinks, whether it be cold brew, which is very cool.
It is.
It's trendy. It's trending and whatever. So we're coming up. We just had an innovation session literally last week, and some things that mixed with root beer. I can't tell you too much because then I'd have to. Well,
By the way, there's no one listening to this, so you can say anything you want.
Yeah, no. But interesting things that cold brew and other elements mixed with root beer really do, and who knew? Is all I say out of our innovation session, how well we can play with cold brew with root beer. So try it. So we're working on stuff. We're working on things like that, not only in dirty sodas and the flavored creams in the soda. I don't know what we're going to bring out with yet, but we have started already. We just finished a promotion with, you'll remember, your generation, Cap and Crunch. Well, we just did a Cap and Crunch shake.
My favorite cereal of all
which
time.
gives you permission to have breakfast for dessert, right? And so that's an example of that snacking craze. Before that, it was.
Is that breaking news?
No, that's finished. That finishes today. Right?
Oh,
That's an LTO?
That's an LTO. It finished today.
Old
I
news.
can finish
That's
today.
old news.
Yeah, and strawberry watermelon cream freeze, which is a different. It's sort of like a blended float with more ice cream, less root beer in it. In this case, strawberry watermelon. Again, unique flavors. It's hard to
Is
work
that
with
breaking
watermelon
news?
as a flavor. That is not breaking news either.
Kevin, are you going to give us any breaking news? I mean, we're trying to.
He's like a vault. He's a vault. He's giving you nothing.
And we're competing against CNBC here, man. And
By the way,
Okay. Here's the breaking news.
Oh, here we go.
We're coming out. One of our very popular products, our white Wisconsin cheese curds, right? Which is a unique product with A&W. It's a premium snackable size. We do a lot of different things with it. Chili cheese on cheese curds. That snacking occasion, just the cheese curds itself in multiple different sizes. We've served them in multiple different sauces and things like caramel
cheese
dipping.
curds never
We're coming out with
in New York. I'll
new.
tell you that.
What's that?
Cheese curds never took off in New York. I know
Yeah, but I tell you, they are hot.
in the Midwest,
they're
right?
hot in the Midwest.
Yeah,
they really are hot.
Yeah.
They
They
really
love
are
it.
hot. And we sell a lot of them, so we're coming out with a unique flavor. We're bringing back, by popular demand, our Chipotle cheese curds. So that's breaking news.
There you go.
Not out there.
Yeah,
There you go. Now it's a return. It's like the McRib.
Breaking news, hospitality hangout. Kevin Bazner is breaking it right now. Kevin, what did you say?
Chipotle cheese curds. Chipotle.
You heard it here live first on the Hospitality Hangout, continually bringing you breaking news. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I
Literally
wanted.
a factious.
And the only thing that makes them better is our proprietary spicy papa sauce as a dipping sauce. So you
Spicy
didn't
papa.
finish with the breaking news. Spicy papa.
There's more breaking news.
It comes with a spicy papa sauce. By the way, that's good that it comes with a spicy papa sauce because literally Chipotle just sent Kevin a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Stop using Chipotle in your cheese curds. That's our name.
No, but I think he's allowed to use
Yes,
it because it's the pepper.
It's pepper. It's a pepper.
Yeah, he can
Generic
do that.
pepper,
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
kidding
there you
about.
go.
I was joking about the Chipotle cease and desist order.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
I also said facts. Turns out.
Unlike a dishwasher, I get those notices if they were to come.
There you go.
Dishwasher, that's the good thing about being a dishwasher. I wouldn't have gotten that notice.
Wouldn't have got that notification.
Yeah, that wouldn't
Listen,
have
I want to talk about the tech transformation, a big focus, and you've already alluded to it, that you're leaning into the tech stack, particularly for your guest engagement and engaging with Gen Z. I think you're in a unique situation is that you now have the ability to thoughtfully build a tech stack. As you take your brand and bring it to Gen Z, talk about how you're investing in automation, how you're bringing automation into your business. Where do you see the biggest returns on these tech investments?
Yeah, great question. And we've had, digress just for a moment, and we've had the great opportunity of watching everyone else get out there ahead of us and learn from some mistakes and whatever, but also learn from their successes. One of your sponsors, Toast, we know them well, we know their technology well, but you got to be there. And we were late to the game. Going into COVID, we did not have a delivery program. We didn't need it. It was the drive-ins and the drive-throughs that really carried us through. Coming out of it, we knew we'd do that. So we brought all that in and everything, and we're just catching up to the industry. We're be able to do it more quickly and more cost effectively.
I was going to say more efficient.
The opportunity because we've had the opportunity to learn from it, see everybody else's mistake.
Right.
When I talk to people in the industry and I say, we're finalizing, we're rolling out centralized POS, I say, didn't you already have that? And we didn't, but we do now. And what we're able to do that. But the biggest thing for us is in what, just the economics of this business. They've changed, multiple times in my career, and they've changed as a result of COVID and delivery and everything else, is the self-ordering piece. Whether that self-ordering piece is a kiosk, whether that self-ordering piece is a cell phone and a QR code, whether that's a tablet from the drive-in restaurant, if you still want to put an order taker out there, whether it's a line buster or whether it's online, white label delivery or third-party delivery, a big percentage of the industry business now is being done with online order. I've got some stores in Asia. I just came back. We've got a big presence in Southeast Asia. We've got some stores in Singapore, for example, which is a company store market that we're getting a lot of learnings for and bringing back here. We do 90% of our orders are placed by the consumers themselves.
Now let me ask you something.
90%.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. But like you just bring up Singapore and Asia. I mean, is the A&W brand must resonate with them because it seems like nostalgia Americana, which seems to me they love that, right?
Well, we get nostalgia Americana, absolutely. Everybody wants a slice in it. And I can tell you from an international perspective, broadly, among the people, forget the politics and all that aside,
Right.
America is still very well looked at as the leader in a lot of stuff. And people want to emulate that. And I don't care what culture, what country I've been, they want to emulate that. So I can't say we don't try to take advantage of that with our American food tagline. Of course we do. We're in business to sell food for money, right? Well, that's what we're trying to do here. And so there. But here's a bit of history that you can tuck away and research as you're getting the other jingles down, Chatsy. Is we have been in Singapore and in Okinawa, Japan since 1963. We have our own nostalgia within those markets.
1963. That's crazy.
Yeah, XGIs from the war, from the Second World War, married a local, brought the franchise. Now, it's not the business that it is today. Those were single unit operators.
Sure.
Today we do in big multi-unit operators. We've developed our own restaurants in Singapore as sort of a training and innovation center for the region out there. And then we're also bringing stuff back. I just had my head operations person and trainer in innovation and marketing to see what we could, best practices we could share. And technology is one of them. And you get into that, and we're not giving. That's where the putting the cashier in the dining room rather than behind the cash register, because 90% of the customers are ordering the food themselves. Okay, what can I get you? Is your food okay? Here's your float, fresh food, fresh made for you. That's how, again, circle back. I know that's how we're bringing the drive-in into the dining room,
Right.
into the restaurant of today.
I love
technology.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Let's jump into hot or not, Jimbo. Okay? Yeah, but are you ready for a little hot or not?
Hey, I'm ready. It's just don't bring cold brew back into the question.
No, never. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring, this is Jimmy loves this segment because he gets to opine on your answers.
I will.
Okay.
All right, hot or not in the food service world? Robot servers, hot or not, Kevin?
Not.
Late night dining, hot or not?
Not.
Buy one, get one discounts. BOGO discounts. Hot or not?
All over the industry right now. Hot, but not because people want it to.
It's
We have to.
survival.
It's survival. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that, by the way. But
Craft mocktails. Hot or not?
hot.
Jimbo?
I want to play with all of these because I really want to.
You can play with more than one,
Let's start with
Jimmy.
the craft. Let's start with craft mocktails because I've been digging in this topic, and you said it's hot. I've been looking at alcohol sales, that wine, beer, spirits, and for the first time in 30 years, they're going down. So why don't you talk a little bit about the craft mocktails, and it's hot, and you're talking about Gen Z, which has really been a big impact on the drop in these sales. Why don't you comment on for your business why that's so hot, or just why you enthusiastically embrace it as hot?
100%. Well, I mean, all of the above. I mean, it's hot because it is. I mean, it's hot is because it is. Alcohol sales are down. We've got a nice spike through COVID. Right, where
Do you think people are confused by A&W at root beer, and they think that A&W root beer is alcoholic?
Well, we've had that perception over the years, but I think
So they
particularly
think
in
they're
international
actually drinking
markets,
alcohol, but really they're not.
kids like to play with it. Back when I was a kid, and I got that mug of Frosty Root Beer, I could pretend I
With
was
the
having
foam,
a beer,
yeah.
right? Same with you guys,
Yeah,
right?
right?
You did the same thing. You had it. So it's not it, but it's that craft beverage trend, right?
Yep.
And so if you're in the bar business, and I'm not, I was in a long time ago in my career, I was in the bar business, but it's really back to that craft beverage and that Instagrammable beverage and the playing with colors and layers and whatever. And they're doing a lot in the food service and casual dining space that do alcohol, are playing very strongly in that space, and in my opinion, should be. That's what the beverage guys are doing. The coffee guys are no longer coffee. The coffee concepts are no longer coffee concepts. They're beverage. Dunkin's started that 15 years ago. They wanted to be
I think Starbucks is like it's
two
more
chairmans
cold.
ago. They wanted it.
Yeah.
They said we want to be a beverage company, not
Right.
recognized as beverage, not coffee. So mocktails, I stand by it, not just because it's convenient for our brand. It is, right, with the original craft beverage,
Right.
made in the store fresh daily with virtually the same recipe from 105 years ago. Still the same thing, and we in the frosted mug, which you can't forget. And so it's good for us, but yeah, I still stand by Jimmy that it's a hot trend.
Yeah, it's A&W root beer with that frosty mug taste. I gotta get the rest of the words. How do I not have that? I gotta get. All right, at a commercial break, Jimmy, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, we don't have commercial breaks.
What do you mean? We can do whatever we want. It's our podcast. We take a commercial break. We want to take a commercial break.
Can we at least have Julie record it so we have it for?
Yeah, obviously. I'm going to get that on there. Don't worry about that. 100%, Kevin. All right, listen, let's go a little. I think, you know what? I hear music, Jimmy. I hear music. It's not my favorite song, but it's up there. You know this. You think it's a disco. You think it's Gloria Gaynor. No, it's not, Jimmy. What is it? It's the disco version of The Price is Right. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what this is. It's like the disco. We're going to.
I'm ready. Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, I was going to ask for a clarifying question that you answered. Where is the venue? Because that matters, right? So I'd say, so you're saying a mall venue, a cart or a kiosk in a mall, right? So what is in in New Jersey? It's not Short Hills Mall, is it? Yeah, I, yeah, yeah. It would have been. It would have been. That's why I asked the questions before. I'll take a. Do I have to go first, or does Jimmy go first? Do I have to go first? Yeah. No, I'll go first. I'll go first. You're being nice to me. I appreciate that. 16.99. I think it was somewhere in between. I think it's in between. I think. Wow. Wow. No, I'm embarrassed. I'm actually embarrassed because as soon as I gave the answer, I knew I was wrong. Because when I came up with my answer well into 20, I said, that can't be right. But we all know what's happened to pricing, and it's, yeah. Okay. 29.99 in a mall in New Jersey. Oh, God. You guys are too kind. You guys are too kind to an old guy. So thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, I have something in common with Shatsy, and that is I can't sing. I can't sing. I can't sing. Uh, Yeah, when I started talking about Singapore and whatever, I figured I was toast on this two truths and a lie. I figured that got me right there. Yeah, right. We have a handful of operators that do use Toast, but it is not our enterprise solution. Great product for the right target customer, and it's yes, we know them, but we are not a customer. They're not our legacy platform. It can't do. I mean, it doesn't do everything we need it to do, quite frankly. Cigar? Oh no, no, we're still in cigar boxes, baby. The problem is nobody carries cash. Yeah. Sure. I would like to have dinner with somebody the likes of, how about Gandhi? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no question. Yeah. The most used app on my phone is, well, oh God, what's an app and what's not an app? But I would say the most used app on my phone is the weather app. Hmm. I don't know. It's whatever the symbol when I push it takes me to. But yeah, I think weather.com because I'm a golfer. We have restaurants all over the country. I watch the weather. I watch the weather a lot, particularly on weekends and whatever, not for personal, but for business. When we have sunny weather on the weekend, those drive-ins and those drive-throughs, they do a lot of business. If it's raining and sleeting, it doesn't. So I do a weather app. And as much as I travel, I like to know what's going on with the weather. So no, no, I never play golf when I travel. Yeah. No, I almost never play golf when I travel, either personally or professionally. No, no, no wink, no wink. My wife does. Put it this way: my wife doesn't play golf, so we travel a lot. She travels a lot with me, both personally, obviously, and professionally on occasion. She was with me in Southeast Asia, and she doesn't play golf. So, out of consideration, I don't play golf. And when we go to the holiday, I don't play golf. So, I'm not in the habit of doing that. You've heard the term "happy wife, happy life." Yeah, so there you go. So I don't play golf when I travel. Yeah, and we're out of town? Out of time. Okay. Yes, both Marriott and United. United. I'm not going to give you an explanation because I'm already taking too long a time. But yeah, flight is worth. I don't really know my Uber rating. I do use Uber a lot. I can tell you that Uber and everything else were gratuitous. I'm a very good tipper. All right. All right. Okay, let me go in. I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I'll even put it on screen if you want me to. My app is opening. So now where do I go? Where do I go? To my account? Well, okay, you guys go first. 48486 verified. 486. Yeah, 486 verified. I never knew how to do that, but I assumed I was high because I treat them well. I treat everybody in the service industry very well because I come from it, right? Maybe you're singing jingles. I don't know. You don't think you should be that high? You're a 481, dude. Come on, dude. There's no rationalize on that. Hey, Jimmy, does he have a point? I mean, you know him longer than I. Does he have a point here? You're buying it. Yeah, buying the votes. Well, since you don't seem to read very much, Shatsy, I would think that you're going to be problem in a Scrabble game. All right. Well, now I'll clarify something. I play a competitive Scrabble with my wife. It's house rules. Forget the Scrabble dictionary. We don't play with it. So you're at a disadvantage. Well, we use the Oxford English and the Webster because my wife is British. So, that's yeah, 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 yeah. I'd take you on, Chatsy. I'd take you in Scrabble. I'd take you. Okay. Like in between plays, you're looking up the words. Yeah. No, no. I know that's not in the rules anywhere. In fact, I know the rules explicitly exclude it. Yes, we do, but we don't use the Scrabble dictionary. We do. No, we do. We do get a look. We do get a look to verify that the word we're actually going to use is real. We don't do it to look it up a word. We'd say, okay, I got this word. I'm looking it up, making sure it's real before I play. So it's competitive. We are, listen, happy wife, happy life. Right? We gotta get alignment on what the rules are, and it doesn't matter if anybody doesn't like them because they don't have to live here. I do. Courteous competition. Uh, yeah. Uh, appreciate that. 100%. 100%. And a lot of our customers would know the difference. Yeah, if you're a regular drinker, you would notice the difference of either product because it is different. Not It is different. It very similar. I mean, it's not for the faint-hearted to get into this challenge, but yes, I could tell the difference. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Lexington, Kentucky. Where are you guys at? All right.